This video is sponsored by MPB.
Hello, I'm going to film a portion of this on the new camera as well as my usual camera just to see what it's like. We'll cover the video stuff in a bit. OM System are on a roll this year. We have another brand new release. We have the OM System OM5-ii. In this video I'm going to go through what's new, what's not new, and whether this might be the right new camera for you. Let's get stuck in. Let's start with my favourite upgrade. Let's just get it out of the way straight away. The menus are the updated menus. No longer do we have those old never-ending menus. It's just a wonderful, clean experience. It's a long time coming. Shan't say any more on it, but I'm very happy. So, what else is new? Physically, there is a little bit of a difference to the grip. Here you can see it side by side to the original OM5. We have a slightly larger grip. Now, personally, I have no problem with the original, but I do have smaller hands. So if you have larger hands, I think this will be a welcome upgrade. You'll be very happy to know that it doesn't really affect the weight in any way. Let me consult my notes. Even with the additional grip, we are looking at 418 grams versus 414 grams. So yay. Let's quickly play a fun game. What would you call this camera? The colour variant, I mean. What do you think? Are we thinking Desert Storm? Sand, gold. It is more sandy than goldy, depending on how it looks on camera. It's more sandy in real life. What would you call it? This variant is called sand beige. Beige, the least sexy, adventurous name I've ever heard. This is completely irrelevant. It just absolutely tickled me. Like, just stop at sand. This is sand coloured. It's not sand beige. You do have the black and the silver version as well. The beige one is not limited edition, but it is only accounting for around 5% of the first run of this camera. So there will be more on the way, I guess, of testing the waters. I think it's quite pretty. There is like a matte finish on the colour. Yeah, it's a bit of a gear change from the silver or the black, but it's quite interesting. Back to the more important stuff. Less beige, more camera talk. The main thing that OM System are really about with this rebranding and their vision for their brand is getting out in nature. Their slogan is, "It's in our nature," which is a lovely little pun, and I'm quite fond of puns. And I think that really shines through with the OM5 Mark II. It's very, very tiny. It is very rugged. Even though it's still plastic build, it's still a high quality plastic, and the pros of that is it's super duper light. This camera is really aimed at everyday carry enthusiasts, street photography enthusiasts, hiking, landscape photographers, getting out in the rain. It's IP53 rated and weather sealed and dust proof and freeze proof and all that good stuff that you would expect from OM System. So it really is a camera that you can take anywhere with you with a bit of peace of mind. I mean, yes, would I have liked to have seen the metal quality of old, like the older EM5, for example, or the newer OM3? Of course I would. I think that's a really cool, classic-y sort of look and feel. However, on my previous video of the original OM5, which was completely coincidental timing, by the way, I'm actually fuming that I bought the original OM5 like a month before it got discontinued, but that's another story. Loads of people were commenting saying that the plastic design of the original OM5 was a feature and not a bug. If you are hiking, then every single gram counts. You want that small form factor and you want something that you can take out with you and it doesn't weigh you down. And that's something I did discover using the original OM5 and now the new one, because it's basically the same size and weight. When I was in Japan recently, I had my delightful GH5 and also my original OM5. And the days that I took the OM5 out on the little sort of camera strap I had, it was a breeze to walk around, didn't feel it, didn't notice it. I had an extra battery in my sling bag and an extra prime lens. Wonderful. The days I took the GH5 out, God bless it, I love it. It was heavy. I was starting to get fatigue in my shoulders and in my lower back. If it's a camera that you want to take out all the time, size and weight are super important, and the OM5 Mark II ticks those boxes. Another physical difference is instead of the exposure compensation button, we now have a computational features CP button, which you can see also on the OM3. Here you can press and hold it and toggle with the dial to go through all of your favorite computational features and access them really quickly. I think this change really does go to show that the OM5 Mark II is geared towards perhaps people that this might be their first camera up from their phone, or it might be the companion camera from an OM1, for example. Everything is designed to be very easy to access and very, very user-friendly. I shall put on screen a list of all of the computational features in the OM5 Mark II because there are a plethora to choose from and they're all very, very cool. I've done dedicated videos on live composite mode and also live ND. I'll link them in the description if you would like to learn more about those features. One feature that never gets talked about on the OM System cameras which I think is really cool. It's very nerdy, but it is really cool. It's probably why I like it. It's called a supersonic wave filter. And first of all, whoever came up with that name should have named the camera, because that's a really cool futuristic sounding name. Basically, this feature, every time you power on the camera, the sensor does a little shimmy shake. It vibrates 300,000 times a second, and it's designed to keep your sensor really, really clean and get rid of any dust and things like that. And that's ideal for if you are thinking about this camera for hiking and being out in nature, as OM System would like us all to be. And of course, it goes without saying this new camera now has USB-C, because it has to by law, and also it blooming should have done all along. So those are just some of the upgrades, but what is staying the same? We have the exact same 20 megapixel micro four thirds sensor with the same amount of autofocus points, which is 121. We have the same stabilization, which is the very impressive 6.5 stops standalone and 7.5 with any appropriate fancy lens. We have the same EVF resolution, which is the same EVF that you would find on the OM3. The burst modes are staying the same, which is up to 10 frames per second using the electronic shutter and continuous autofocus. This is not really the camera that you would choose for your wildlife and your bird in flight photography. That would definitely be left for the OM3 and the OM1 Mark II further up the range. I have seen a few rumour sites in the last week or so saying that this camera is going to have a blooming stacked sensor, and can I just say, for the record, I despise the rumour mill. I despise all of this hearsay, because there's only two things that happens, right? One, they report it completely wrong and set people's expectations up for failure, so people are really disappointed. Or two, they get it right and wow, what can we do with that information? We just know a week early. Excellent. Anyway, the rumour was that this was going to have a stacked sensor, and that was never blooming going to happen, was it? Because if you stick every single feature in every single camera in the range, why have a range at all? It makes perfect sense for who this camera is geared towards, to keep the form factor and the price low, which I'll get to in a little bit. It makes perfect sense. If this had a stacked sensor in it, it'd be like £1,000 more and it'd be a nightmare. And I kind of skirted over that just now, but just to confirm, there is no subject detection in this camera. You have an enhanced eye and face detect mode, which hopefully it's doing an okay job. Let's give it a quick test. Hello. Hi. How you doing? Anyway, updated eye and face, great. And on the screen now I can see that it's got the little traditional box around me and it's tracking me and it's doing a great job. But no dedicated subject detection, so no bird, no train, no car, etc. This is your everyday carry, your going out for street photography, travel photography, light and nimble setup. If you want more advanced features for tiny unpredictable subjects, then we go up the range. But as you can see, hopefully, it's more than enough for, you know, day-to-day life. Really, really good phase detect autofocus in the OM5 and the OM5 Mark II, just no subject detection, unfortunately. If the new OM5 Mark II has caught your eye and you're thinking of maybe upgrading to it, perhaps you have some existing camera equipment that you might want to sell or trade, you should definitely check out the sponsor of today's video, which is MPB. Perhaps you're like me and you bought an OM5 like a month ago, not realising it was going to get discontinued, and perhaps it's time to trade it in and look at the new model. With MPB, it couldn't be more simple. I do it all the blooming time. They are the largest online platform for buying, selling and trading your camera equipment. All you need to do is go to the website, stick in the model of the camera or lens that you want to sell, and then tell them the condition. Then you can add all this to your selling quote and get an instant quote without having to speak to a human, which is what I love about them most, because I am a millennial and I hate speaking to people on the phone. They're a great company. They've been a long-term supporter of this channel, and if you would like to use their wonderful services, then you can check out the links below. I have UK, EU and US, and using those links really does tell MPB that I'm doing a good job. You get cool used camera equipment, everyone's happy, and we can all go out and be camera nerds again. And let's get back to the nerdiness. Let's quickly talk about video. And this is where my main disappointment lies, ladies and gentlemen. I am quite the cinnamon roll, and I'm always excited when there's a new Micro Four Thirds camera on the market, but I gotta call it as I sees it. And I think that only having 8-bit video in the OM5 Mark II is a massive oversight. Now, maybe my needs are very different because a load of people who are photocentric and don't really give a crap about video will not care. There's clearly enough video in this to get you going and take little clips and stuff, and it's absolutely fine. But my little imagination is like, if this just had that one feature, just 10-bit video, we'd be able to have this as like a tiny little vlog camera on top of all the other cool stuff, and I think it's such an oversight. However, this is more of a general flaw on the video side of OM System in general, to be honest, which is in all of the other cameras, which is the 10-bit video can only be shot in a log profile, which is like a flat profile. Every bit of 10-bit footage that you have to shoot on an OM System camera, you have to grade or it'll look terrible. Other brands have 10-bit footage where you can put standard or natural, etc. on it, and it comes out looking nice straight out of camera. But OM System, it's either log or 8-bit of death. So it does make sense why this isn't included in the OM5 Mark II. If we imagine that this is someone's first camera coming from a mobile phone, they're not going to understand or even want to grade the footage out of this camera. However, I wish you could just change it bury it in the menu and just turn on like advanced mode or something and give people the option. That's what I would have much preferred. Because looking at this, the 8-bit footage, I mean, I've not seen it, I'm just looking at it on the screen. It's all right, isn't it? It's okay. It's not bad. But think of like, comparing this to like how the OM3 looks. The OM3 video footage is stunning. I could have taken this out and it could have been my main vlogging camera, but I'm not using the 8-bit footage. Anyway, rant over. One thing I do want to be very clear about is, while I've alluded to the OM5 Mark II being a beginner-friendly or entry-level camera throughout this video, it sort of like sticks in my throat when I say it because there's so many advanced features in this camera that it sort of does it a disservice. What I think OM System means is you've got your OM5 Mark II, you've got your OM3, you've got your OM1 Mark II. You have a very clear line and you can decide which is right for you. But I don't think the OM5 is a beginner camera. I mean, it's easy to use, it's good for beginners, don't get me wrong. If you're new to photography, this is a great option. But like, you've got full manual controls, it shoots RAW, you've got like starry AF, so you could do astrophotography, it's got built-in time-lapse features, it's got tons and tons of really advanced stuff. It's even got like the pro capture modes where you can shoot the action before you press the shutter. It's a camera that you could get, you could whack it in auto mode, go wild, and then you could learn so much about photography with this camera. It could grow with you very easily. So entry level in the context of the rest of the range, but not entry level as in it's basic, because it's really not. Let's talk turkey. This is what it's going to come down to for a lot of people. How much does it cost in relation to the rest of the range and in general? And is it enough features for the price in your opinion and mine? So drum roll, please. I don't want to do it because my microphone's on the table. The launch price for the OM5 Mark II is £1,099, which I think is pretty well priced. Would I liked to have seen it at £999? I think psychologically that would have just been like grabby hands for a lot of people, but I think it's still a really good price point when you consider the OM3 is currently £1,699, so a good £600 more. But then the OM1 Mark II is like £2,149, so a whole £1,000 more. And yes, you don't get the stacked sensor, you don't get the faster burst mode, you don't get the 10-bit video. There is a big jump in spec, and I do think those other cameras are great for certain people, including myself. But if you're looking for something small, everyday carry sort of thing, I think that's a good price point, actually. I mean, I got the original OM5 a month before it got discontinued, which I'm really quite mad at, for I think £700 or £800. So the used market has held that value, and you're only paying a couple of £100 more to get the new model. So, oh, and if you want lenses with it, the bundled price is £1,499, and the main ones that's being bundled with is the f4 range. So one of my favourite stock lenses, the f4 12-45. It is gorgeous, it is weather sealed, it's got like a metal chassis. I love it. I've got some really good photos with that. And In the UK and EU at least, just like with the OM3, the early adopters will be getting a 5-year extended warranty if you buy before the end of July. I'm not sure what's going on with other territories, but it's well worth being an early adopter if this has caught your eye. So what do I think? Well, I think I've made my thoughts very clear on the video side of things, but I do know that so many people that buy this camera won't care about that. If it had 10-bit video, I would be so screaming from the rooftops. Like, they would have accidentally made like the very best vlogging camera on the market. And it's such a stupid oversight. Sorry, I'm getting ranty again. Do you know, I'm getting this way with Lumix at the moment as well. It's like, do you know when you're just like, people want this. If you just make this, you will make loads of money. And all the brands just seem allergic to money. Do you know what I mean? It's like, just give me a small camera with video and I'll be happy. That's all I want in the world. But anyway, sorry, I'm on the caffeine again. If you've watched my tiny camera series, I have like a little checklist of what I would consider like my ideal camera. It's things like, does it have an EVF? Is it small? Is it weather sealed? Does it have IBIS? Does it have good autofocus? Does it have a flippy screen? Does it have a mic input? Does it have video features? It's like bang, 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 bang. The OM5 Mark II hits every single box bar the video side. And if that doesn't concern you, then it ticks every single blooming box. One thing, while I've had a bit of caffeine and I'm feeling fighty, is on my OM3 videos, I get so many people being like, we don't need a stacked sensor. We don't need this, this, and this. I would much rather have not that and a cheaper camera. Well, now it exists. Please don't be like, this should have had a stacked sensor and it should have had every spec under the sun, because that's what the OM3 is. Like, there needs to be a difference. Oh man, I'm never drinking caffeine on an empty stomach again. So, for everyday carry, hiking, landscape photographers, travel photographers, someone who might want a companion camera to an existing camera that's smaller and portable and you can use the same lenses with, this is what the OM5 Mark II is all about, and I am all here for it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what is exciting or perhaps disappointing, and let me know if you agree about all of my many rants that I've had in this video. And check out my original OM5 video that I did just a few weeks ago in Japan. It was super cool. I took the original OM5 out and took loads of cool photographs with it, and given that that's the same sensor, etc., the image quality that you can expect from both cameras is the same. So yeah, go see that next, and thank you so much for watching.